Hello there, my name is Srinath, and the topic for today's talk is preventing and troubleshooting issues related to file descriptors setting in PowerCenter. So the agenda for the talk is as follows. So initially we'll be looking into what file descriptors are, and we'll follow that up with the various steps that can be taken to prevent the issue of running out of file descriptors. And I will also touch upon certain pitfalls that needs to be taken care of, and we need to be vigilant against those. And once, say, if you are running out of file descriptors, how exactly you'll be able to identify the issue, we'll take that up as well. So first, let's look into what exactly file descriptors are. So a file descriptor, the definition of file descriptor is an abstract unique indicator for accessing a file in Unix-based operating systems, and it is of integer data type. And in addition to regular files, file descriptors also refer to directories, block and character devices, named pipes, network sockets, etc. And in Windows, there is no concept of file descriptor as such. They are called file handles, and we don't have a limit on file handles in Windows. And in this specific talk, we would stick specifically to Linux operating systems, and all the commands that I mentioned here would be applicable only for Linux operating systems, and similar commands are available for other operating systems as well. So there is a specific system-wide file descriptor limit which could be found by looking into the /proc/sys/fs/file/max um, parameter. This parameter specifies the maximum number of file descriptors that could be open system wide, and you could also specify the file descriptor limit for a specific user, and this could be done by changing the values, the hard limit and soft limit in the limits.conf file, which is available in /etc/security directory. And in addition, the values could be changed for per process as well, and this can be done by running the ulimit -n followed by the value that you want to set to by running this command. um, from PowerCenter 951, we recommend that the value is at least 8000, and the recommended limit is about 16,000 file descriptors. I mean, about 16,000 file descriptors is the recommended limit for per process is the recommended limit. So now let's look into the steps that can be taken to prevent this issue as such. So the PowerCenter installation provides a tool called i9py, which would provide which would provide which would find out if all the prerequisites needed for installing the PowerCenter product are in place, and this also finds the number of file descriptors per process that's been set. And initially this can be run in order to make sure that the per process file descriptor has been set to limit that's been recommended. So let's look into how i9py needs to be run and where exactly you'll be able to find out the number of file descriptors. So when the installer is run, it would provide you an information asking if you want to run the i9py pre-installation system check tool. So if you select yes, so here let's press enter to continue. Let's say this is the default directory where you want to install PowerCenter. I'm all specifying the default values. So I'm just providing the values for the different database parameters over here. And once this is run, we'll be able to see where all what prerequisite passed and which ones failed. And specifically for file descriptors, we'd be able to see that we have set it at a value that's much higher than the recommended value. And this is a preliminary check that needs to be done before installing PowerCenter. So the another check that needs to be done is by running the ulimit -n command and making sure that the value that it returns is at least 16,000 or more. And this is per process file descriptor limit for a specific user. And we look into the common pitfalls that would sometimes make the value much lesser than the recommended the file descriptor value being set to a value that is much less than the recommended value. So more often than not, most of the enterprises, the startup script infaservice.sh is usually done by third-party tools, and it's not done directly. And when it is done using third-party tools, a different profile gets sourced, which might have the file descriptors set to a lower value. And this has been found to be extremely common, and it has caused a lot of outages. So the one thing that needs to be taken care of is when PowerCenter is started by third-party tools, the profile that gets sourced also has file descriptor limit set at least to 16,000. So let's say we have hit this issue, and what can be done to detect this particular issue? That's what we will be looking at this point. So the error message that we would see is java.io exception too many open files. And this particular message could be seen in the node.log, services framework.log, or any of the other PowerCenter logs. And what this basically message means is that we have run out of file descriptors, and this message is thrown by the operating system, and it's not thrown by the application. So when we look at this particular message, the first thing that we need to check is how many file descriptors were I mean, when PowerCenter was started, what was the setting with which it was started, the number of file descriptors with which it was started. So this can be checked by running the ls/proc/pid/limits command, and this would conclusively prove if at all if PowerCenter was started with the number of file descriptors that was recommended. So summarizing the talk, the two things that needs to be kept in mind is whenever PowerCenter is started, please make sure that the file descriptor limit is set to at least 16,000 or more per process. And when using third-party tools to start PowerCenter, please make sure that the profile that gets sourced also has file descriptors limit set to the recommended value. So we'd love to hear from you. You could email us at supportvideos@informatica.com, and you could tweet us at Twitter handle at infasupport. Thank you and have a nice day.